Good evening, everyone. Let us see one more topic under biochemistry, that is immunochemistry. So, the objectives of presentation under introductory part of immunobiochemistry, we can discuss regarding antigen, antibodies, response, vaccines, immunoassays, autoimmunity, and immunotherapy. So, immunobiochemistry is a branch of biochemistry that focus on the study of the immune system. So, it is focusing on the study of immune system and its interactions with various molecules. How this immune system is interacting with the various molecules, particularly antigens and antibodies. So, here in this picture, we can see this is antibody and this is antigen. So an antibody is a protein produced by immune system in response to the presence of an antigen. So here antibody is a protein. So this antibody is a protein which is produced by the immune system in response to the presence of the antigen. So when there is antigen, so in this antibody production will be notified. So it encompasses a wide range of topics. This immunobiochemistry, which includes the structure and functioning of the immune molecules and also immune response to pathogens. So how the immune system is responding towards the pathogens and the development of vaccine. So how what kind of vaccines can be developed here? It can be notified here and the diagnosis and treatment of immune related diseases. Let us talk about antigen. Antigens are molecules that can trigger an immune response. So antigens are foreign materials and which can trigger our immune response. There are typically proteins or large polysaccharides. So these are comes under the category of the large polysaccharides which found on the surface of the pathogen. So where these antigens can be found? It can be found on the surface of the pathogens as bacteria, virus and parasites. But they can also be found on the surface of the cells in the body. So it can be found on the surface of the foreign material and also it can also found on the surface of the cells in the body. Let us talk about antibodies. Antibodies are also known as immunoglobulins. So these all now comes as a immunoglobulin. All antibodies are immunoglobulin, but all immunoglobulins may not be antibodies. These are proteins which are produced by specialized white blood cells, which is known as B cells or B lymphocytes. Antibodies bind to specific antigens. Binding means attaching to the specific antigens, marking them for destruction by other components of the immune system or neutralizing their harmful effects. So how these antibodies? These antibodies are bind to a specific antigens and which helpful for the destruction destruction of the antigens, and this will be helpful for the neutralizing our body homeostasis. And coming to immune response, the immune response is the body coordinated reaction to the presence of the antigens. So what is this? Whenever our body exposing towards the any antigens, our immune system will be reactivated. Like it may be notifying as a swelling, itching, or redness. It involves the activation of various immune cells as B cells, T cells and phagocytes. So these phagocytes also know, which will be helpful for the cell eating and which work together to eliminate the invading pathogens. So what do you mean by invading pathogens? What are the microorganism is going to be attacking our body? At that time, our body B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes and these phagocytes will be activated and try to protect us from our pathogens. Then coming to the another concept is that is vaccines. So the vaccines are substances that stimulate our immune system. So most of the time we used to take some of the vaccines from the childhood onwards. These vaccines will be boosting our immunity. And vaccines are substances that stimulate the immune system to produce an immune response without causing the disease. So these vaccines will be helpful for increasing our immune response without causing the disease. And they typically contain weakened or inactivated form of pathogens or their antigens. So these vaccines will consist of the inactivated forms of pathogens or their antigens, which train the immune system to recognize and respond to the real pathogen more effectively in the future. Then coming to the another concept is immunoassays. So immunoassays are laboratory techniques which are used to detect and quantify specific molecules as antigens or antibodies in biological samples. So what do you mean by biological samples? From our body, what are the samples we are collecting? These are known as biological samples. Like for example, blood sample, urine sample, sputum sample. So any sample which we are retrieving or which are collecting from our body, these are known as biological samples. These techniques are widely used in research, clinical diagnostics, and drug development. So another sub-concept is autoimmunity. So what do you mean by auto? It's a self. Autoimmunity occurs when the immune system mistakenly targets and attacks healthy cells and tissues in the body. Sometimes what will happen? Our own immune cells will be fighting against us or it will be attacking any organ. So that is known as because of these condition there is a development of the autoimmune diseases and such as so some of the examples we can notify here. One is rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus condition, and type 1 diabetes mellitus. So because of the autoimmune conditions, person may be having various symptoms will be notifying as per according to their disease condition. Then the final one is the immunotherapy. What immunotherapy? It's a management. So because of the disturbances of the immune system, patient may be having any disease condition that can be treated with the immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is a type of treatment that harnesses the power of immune system to fight diseases including cancer. So which includes some of the approaches like checkpoint inhibitors. What do you mean by inhibitors? Stoppage, any drugs or any methods we are using that will be try to controlling the these immune abnormalities. And also one more therapy that is CAR T cell therapy, which meaning is chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy and other therapeutic vaccines. So in the immunotherapy, some kind of drugs also will be involved. These drugs are utilizing for reducing the symptoms related to the autoimmune disease conditions. And overall, the immunochemistry plays a crucial role in understanding the immune system complex mechanism and developing strategies to prevent, diagnose, and treat various diseases. Let us summarize our topic. So today we have discussed regarding antigen, antibodies, immune response, vaccines, immunoassays, autoimmunity, and immunotherapy. So immunochemistry is a branch of biochemistry. Antigens are molecules or proteins or large polysaccharides which are found on the surface of the pathogens. And whereas antibodies, also known as immunoglobulins, these are bodies coordinated reaction to the presence of the antigen. And whereas vaccines are substances that stimulate the immune system and immunoassays are the laboratory investigation which we can able to perform as per the disease condition of the patient. And also we have discussed regarding immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is a treatment of immune related disease condition. I hope my dear students you understand the concept of the introduction to the biochemistry. Thank you one and all. Once again, we'll meet.